Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the September 2nd Rules Committee meeting. And we'll get started by going to Mr. Dennis and go through introductions on the dais here.
Good afternoon, Garrett Dennis Administration.
Nayeli Jimenez, Council Research.
Carla Lopera, Office of General Counsel.
Trista Caraher, Council Auditor's Office.
Kenna Morris, City Council District 1.
Randy White, District 12.
Terrence Freeman at large, Group 1.
Chris Miller at large, Group 5.
Ron Salem, Group 2 at large. Mike Gay, District 2.
Michael Boylan, District 6.
Kevin Carrico, District 4. Go Knowles.
Good afternoon, Rockman Johnson, District 14, just visiting.
Welcome, everyone. And we're going to start with public comment. We have one public comment card. You'll have 3 minutes, and unless we get any more, I see John Nooney making a mad dash for the front, so we may get another one. So, Mr. Blake Harper, if you please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please, and the microphone's yours.
And that's from a Gator, too. I'm really happy to see them beat Alabama. Was it Alabama? Oh, man. They're now they're what, 29th or 50th or something? All right. Well, it's still great to be a Florida Gator. Folks, I'm handing out 3 pieces of paper to you. The first piece of paper is dated May 13th, 2025 from the state of Florida. The box on the right says the grantee submitted its request on February 7th, 2025, 220 days after the grant expired. That is a state grant. That is a state grant that was fraudulently obtained to, quote unquote, fund the removal of the remnants of the Hemming statue. They allowed it to expire 222 days later. And it's interesting because the second page, you'll actually see the request for the $1 million. So, and this is to Councilman Amaro. By the way, I'm engaging in my constitutional right of personally directed speech. You need to put in, and I'm sorry, just as it was an oversight on my part, and you're in 557, you need to put in an entry to get reports on statewide grants, because statewide grants is not in your resolution. And the other part of it is, because resolutions are optional, no, but they don't carry the force of law. Somebody can do what they want with it. That resolution needs to become an ordinance, because the mayor doesn't have to do anything other than say, yeah, we got your resolution. You need to get, this documents the fact you need facts about a state grant, $1 million state grant that has been handled in a derelict manner. And it's important to understand that we have a large grant department. So when you look at the sum total of all these things that have happened, oh, and by the way, if you remember May 15th, 2023, Councilman Salem, who was president, Michael Boylan, I believe, was there. That was the neighborhoods committee meeting that was taken off the website. Remember that? You got an email from me as president, Mr. Salem. So there are all manner of things that have happened with regards to this grant. So there's an absolute obligation to include state grants, and that resolution's meaningless because they have the choice. She has the choice of agreeing to do it or not. And there are serious issues here with regards to this grant. And I've used the word fraud, and I mean that. I used to be a commercial banker. You know that. I used the word fraud for a reason. This is serious. I got fooled once. I'm not getting fooled again, and I'm doing business, and I will push this every which way I can. We need to find out who was involved and how we got to this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harper. And our last speaker is John Nooney.
Hello, I am John Philanthropic,
Resiliency, Intangible. Good Boy Nooney, Ocho Tres, Cinco Seis, Bascom Road, Jacksonville, Florida, 32216. All right, I'll just be touching on agenda items. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 2025-0522, that's a building inspection fund. Charging stations. Agenda item 5, number 6, 2025-0557. That's a resolution. You know, it's in rules and finance. You know, you look at, you know, send that one to neighborhoods. You know, number 8, 2025-0600, that's a driver education, $3 to $5. Number 11, 2025-0611. A $78,000 direct contract. We need to tie that into the agenda item 4, building inspection cleanup charging station on Pottsburg Creek. Number 12, 2025-612. Now that's the big gift at large Ticket Me public park on Pottsburg Creek next to the building inspection cleanup charging station. Visit Jacksonville on that one. And so, you know, I'm down to a minute 45, but let's get over to, this is the one that I really want to talk about. And that is agenda item 4, 2025-0522. We're appropriating $1.2 million. And this is for the building inspection fund. Okay? We're getting charging stations. And just listen to this. Electric chargers will be installed at various city locations around town. Charging stations will be limited to use building inspection vehicles. Fleet management recently acquired 18 electric vehicles for the building inspection division. Now, there is currently not a plan. No plan for this. Electric vehicles for the building inspection division. Occupant of the building will be responsible for the electric charge associated with charging the building inspection vehicles. Now, the reason I'm just down to 50 seconds, but I just, you know, our place is on Pottsburg Creek. You know, I've been to JEA, JTA, and at the same time, you could have a charging station. Elon Musk, calling you, man. You got a shirt, you're in the movie. But we're going to be funding this thing. 18. Our place hits every bucket that you could possibly think of, and then some. So that charging station, you know, bring it. You know, private enterprise. And let me just say, okay, I'm just down to 8 seconds. So this guy, Richard, you have to call him Sparky Reichard. You have to get him a shirt.
Thank you, Mr. Nooney.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please support this.
Okay, now, hopefully you all have the agenda item, the one-pager. If you don't, I'll just guide us through this here. We're going to start out with the appointments, and then one of those is a reappointment. We'll go to Ms. LaPera for some discussion on that item. It's a second read, but we'll need to discuss that today. Then we'll go to Council Member Johnson and for his bill, and then Council Member Peluso. Actually, that should say item number 10 and 11. And for everyone, Council Member Peluso has joined us. And so we'll go through this agenda first, then we'll go back, as it says in the bottom of the page, to item number 1 and work our way through the rest of the agenda. So we'll start out with page 4, item number 7, and this is 2025-0574. I have a motion second on the bill. Is Ms. Perry here, please? Ms. Perry, if you'll state your name and address for the record, and then if you just tell us a little bit about your background. And I must say before you start, Ms. Perry, thank you so much for the exchange that we had. Really, really good exchange. And I personally am excited to see you going into this position, assuming everyone supports, as I'm sure they will. I think you and your family's legacy of service, your experience, your enthusiasm, you have so much to bring to the Jacksonville Journey Forward, and so welcome. If you introduce yourself and state your address for the record.
Thank you, Councilman. My name is Sylvia Perry. The address is 1122 Edgewood Avenue West, Jacksonville, Florida, 32208. Greetings again, Councilman, and thank you to the many of you that I had the opportunity to speak with. Again, my name is Sylvia Perry. I am a lifelong resident of Jacksonville, Florida, educated in the very best of Jacksonville's public and private institutions, went on to graduate from Florida State University, holding degrees in communication, organizational leadership, and a Juris Master's. I work at the Jacksonville Free Press, a 38-year-old publication serving the African American community of Jacksonville, Florida. Throughout my lifetime of 55 years, I've seen great iterations of Jacksonville, from the beginnings and the flourishing downtown to where we are today, to focusing on public works, and where we are today now with crime and Journey Forward. My mother served on the Jacksonville Journey Commission, and she believed in a better Jacksonville, and I believe in one too. When I look around and I talk to my friends I've known throughout my life, and they think about what Jacksonville is known for, and you look into the headlines, and it's not exactly where we all want to be. But anywhere I can be that can help with moving that journey forward. I've had the opportunity of working through many, many organizations, and not only being a victim of crime, but talking to those who have actually perpetrated it. And not exactly participating in the perpetration, but understanding the why and how of how they've gotten there. And I believe in intervention, early, eradication, mitigation, and anything that we can do to move this forward, I'd like to be a part of. And that brings me to these doors in front of you today.
Thank you very much, Ms. Perry. We have two people on the queue here. Councilman Salem, first, please.
Thank you, Chair. I had the opportunity to spend 20 or 30 minutes on a Zoom call with Ms. Perry, enjoyed the discussion, and very supportive of her appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Councilmember Johnson, please.
I'd like to say thank you for recognizing me, Mr. Chair. And while I do certainly appreciate Ms. Perry's belief in this, I think she is certainly, and I must say this on the record, selling herself very short. Ms. Perry, who happens to be, we share, I won't say a mother, but her mom was my godmother, the founder of the Jacksonville Free Press, and Ms. Perry's my godsister, so I've known her all my life. But she's also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, former regional director of the Lynx Incorporated internationally, and has traveled the world as a journalist. Her mother put in us what it means to tell different stories, and so I think having her on this journey forward, since her mother was a part of Journey, has always instilled in us our responsibility. And I say that, a little jokingly about not telling the fullness of it, but Sylvia has often and consistently been a member of this community that works hard, and I think we need storytellers like her on this, so I'm honored to co-sponsor this. And Sylvia, thank you, through the chair, for putting yourself forward to do this lofty work and continue to keep your mother's name, Rita Loughborough Perry, lifted high. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Next, we have Councilmember Carrico, please.
Well, aside from the Florida State affiliation, AKA affiliation, your resume speaks for itself. I'm glad to see you step up and serve your community on the journey forward, so I'd like to be a co-sponsor as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approve 2025-0574. And Ms. Perry, if you're available for Tuesday's City Council meeting, we will recognize you and others as they go through the process for full council approval. Not mandatory, but we would certainly like to welcome you and show those in attendance who you are, and thank you for your service.
Gentlemen, I am honored. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll go to page 12, item number 14, and that is 2025-0615. I have a motion and a second. Is Mr. Bradley here? There he is. If you would please come forward, and I'll make my comments up front too before you get started. I've known Mr. Bradley, I've known Donovan for quite a while, and for a number of reasons, I'm excited that the council president selected you and nominated you for this position. You're just as sharp as they come, in my opinion, what right looks like, and so you're definitely a great choice. And I love the fact we're getting a lot more younger appointees on these commissions and boards, and so that we can help understand and move toward a Jacksonville that our younger folks want our city to be. So thank you very much. If you please state your name and address for the record, and then give us a little bit of your background.
Yes, sir, and thank you, Mr. Chair. My address is 13700 Richmond Park Drive North, Jacksonville, Florida 32224. My name is Donovan Bradley, and I want to start off by thanking you all for taking the time to review my application and resume. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a proud Jacksonville native, graduated Duncan U. Fletcher High School and the University of North Florida. I have had the privilege to serve Duval County residents, having previously worked for Representatives Cord Byrd and Dean Black. I've also garnered years of experience doing voter registration, poll watcher training, poll worker training through my advocacy work with the state and local Republican Party. I stand before you today as a nominee for appointment to the Duval County Election Advisory Panel, and I do believe that my skill set will bring a fresh set of eyes and ideas to how we can better serve our constituents. By your votes today, I would be honored to serve you, the Supervisor of Elections, and the residents of Duval County to ensure that we remain a national model for how we conduct our elections and operations here in Duval County. So with that, I thank you again for your time and support, and I yield back.
Thank you very much. I'll now go to Councilmember Boylan first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair, Mr. Bradley, I very much appreciated our conversation, and I shared with you concerns I had as a longstanding member, as a canvassing board. I have a great deal of admiration and respect for the poll workers and the work that they do in servicing our areas. I mentioned to him also the situation a couple of years ago, and there was a young lady who was very politically involved, like you are, that had some difficulty in getting onto the advisory board because she was characterized as, quote unquote, too political. And so I raised that concern with you, but you did a really good job of helping me understand that you're going to look at this thing with a balance necessary to make sure that, you know, all sides have the same opportunities to actively partake in our election process. So I do appreciate you taking the time and the frank conversation that we had. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Councilmember Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to Mr. Bradley. One, congratulations on getting to this point. I'm super excited as well to see you there. I know when we hear these questions and things of politics, and I often laugh because we're in this arena, so it's going to always be a part of the conversation. But in your questions, when you responded to it, I liked how you talked about working together. And I think that's in your temperament. I've known you for quite some time now, watching you grow and develop. I started on this panel many, many years ago, and so this is only the beginning, and I'm excited to be added as a co-sponsor and to be a resource if you need it. So thank you much.
Thank you. And next go to Councilmember Salem, please.
Thank you. Through the chair, I've known Mr. Bradley for quite some time. I think he's got the past experience to be a real addition to this panel and very supportive of his appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. And next go to Council President Carrico, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Bradley, man, I'm glad to see you up at the podium. When I saw my list of options or things that were going to be available that were coming up for my presidency, and I saw the election board, started thinking of who would fill that, thinking of people who were community organizers, people who were ambitious, people who had some energy, people who had experience, and your name came up, and I was excited. I thought this would be a great fit, someone who fits all those boxes and who's hardworking. So we had our conversation. I knew that you would be a great fit, and to hear my colleagues kind of agree with that just gives me a good confirmation. So I'm proud of you for stepping up, and I know you'll do a great job. So I just want to thank you for accepting the challenge, and wish you well.
Thank you, Mr. President. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0615. And Mr. Bradley, if you're available also for council night, we look forward to recognizing you there. We will, whether you're there or not. Again, it's not mandatory, but we would like to honor you for stepping forward. Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
We'll now go to item number 15, and that's 2025-0616. I have a motion and a second. Mr. Bass, sitting in the second row here, well, I guess third row here, please come forward. Also had a great conversation with Mr. Bass. Again, similar thoughts to Mr. Bradley. What you bring, the energy, the passion, the perspective, I just really look forward to what you're going to do, not only in this position, but what comes after that. So thank you for being willing to step forward and accept this challenge. And again, I thank Council President Carrico, made another wonderful choice for a nomination. So if you'd state your name and your address for the record, and as I said, please give us a little bit about your background that qualifies you or that you would like to share that's relevant for this nomination.
Yep. So my name is Blake Bass. I live at 4360 Turner Avenue, Jacksonville, Florida, 32207. So a little bit about me. I started my first business when I was 10 years old, cutting grass on the side. That's kind of maybe some of you may have done over the summer when you were younger. And then 12 years old, I started Blake's Fun Bounce, which has become an entertainment business for Duval County Public Schools, and we're a public school vendor. And then at 14, I decided to I spent between 14 and 16 getting investors together, people outside my family, to start Bass Equipment Rental, which ended up being my equipment rental business. Started that at 16 years old. And then at 18, when I graduated high school, I started Life Launchers, which is an after-school life skill course that we teach at Eagles View Academy, and we're looking to expand. We're in the private schools right now, looking to expand to public schools. We've already been working with the school board. So I'm very excited about this commission. I'm probably one of the happiest people in the world right now to be going on this commission. I've always wanted to be involved in local government. My first little political event was John Rutherford's reelection campaign. So it's always been something I've been very excited about doing. We have a lot of upcoming leaders, young leaders coming up here with Donovan. I just left a meeting with the undersheriff, the captain of the auxiliary unit, and the government affairs coordinator for JSO. And JSO's government affairs person is 26 years old. So I'm like, heck yeah, across the board, we're building the next generation of Duval leadership. So if you want to be a part of that, connect with me. I'd love to work with you. I've had great conversations with every single one of you. And I'm looking forward to building a better Jacksonville for every citizen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bass. We'll now go to Councilmember Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. If the True Commission needs somebody with enthusiasm, this is the guy. Spent 30 minutes with him and came away so impressed, and I think you'll be a great addition, and I'll be very supportive. Thank you.
Next to Councilmember Gay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've known Mr. Bass now for quite a few years, and excited to see him getting involved in our city government here, and I think he'll be a great addition to the True Commission, and looking forward to his efforts and accomplishments on it, and I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, go to Councilmember Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to Mr. Bass, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for putting yourself forward. And I can share with this body, it was a couple months ago, I believe, I had the pleasure of sitting down and just getting to know Mr. Bass on a one-to-one basis, outside of anything dealing with this. And what I left from that meeting, I can't begin to tell you how many people I called and texted and said, I just sat in front of one of our future leaders. You have an old soul, and I don't know if you know what that means, but it's a compliment. And when your lived experience catches up to that old soul, you're going to be able to do some tremendous things on behalf of kids in this city, on behalf of all of us in this city. So I was honored that you took time to meet with me. I'm honored to be a co-sponsor here, and I'm really excited about what you're going to learn about this process coming into this, dealing with the True Commission. Councilman Beckton, there have been numerous council members that have come up through this process, and really learning how to work well with others around the table who may not always politically align with you, but yet be strong, be confident, and get to a resolve, get to a conclusion that's best for our city. So thank you so much. I'm honored to be added as a co-sponsor, and I'm always a phone call away if you need anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last, Council President Carrico, please.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I met Mr. Bass. He's part of the University Christian family. And that bounce house business of his, he's all over town, all over the south side of my district. Every time I would show up to a community event in a park or at the school, there he was, with his business out there, giving out his business cards and introducing himself. So I've seen him at the football games. So just got a chance to shake his hand and get to know him. And over the years, just kind of grew as kind of a mentor. And then when I saw the spot for the True Commission, I was like, "Well, True Commission, that's pretty heavy. That's pretty detailed." So I had a conversation, but being a business owner from the time he was 14 and really understanding the finances of how to have a successful business, and then the integrity at which he takes on a task, I think he's going to take on those numbers and look into things and find stuff that our council auditors might even miss over because of his intensity. So I'm proud of you and excited for what you're going to bring to that. More energy, more freshness, and more youth movement to this city. So I'm looking forward to what you can accomplish. Thanks for stepping up.
I'm very thankful to have a council president that wants to see the next generation of Duval leadership, and it means a ton.
Thank you both very much. No one else in the queue. Please open the ballot and record your vote.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0616. And same for you, Mr. Bass. If you're able to attend the City Council meeting, we would appreciate it. And thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
We'll now go to page 13, item number 16, and that is 2025-0617. I have a motion and a second on the bill. Given it's a reappointment, we do not need Mr. Thompson to be present, but we do have one speaker in the queue, and that is Councilmember Salem.
Thank you, Chair. I served with Mr. Thompson on the Tourist Development Council for 2 years. He was always there, a very active member, and I think he deserves reappointment. Thank you.
And I just heard Councilmember Freeman say he attended 25 of 25 meetings. Talk about commitment. That's super. Soon. Oh, okay. Oh, you're good. Okay. Soon. No one else in the queue. Please open the ballot and record your votes.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0617. Moving to the next reappointment, and that's for Sean Lenoble, 2025-0618. I have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one on the queue, please open the ballots and record your vote.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0618. We'll now move to item number 33 on page 18. So if you just go forward, we have a discussion, as I referred to earlier. This is on, I want to make sure I'm in the right spot here, 2025-0670, and Ms. LaPera is going to cue this up for us, please.
Sure, through the chair to the committee. So this is a reappointment of Alex Moye to the Public Nuisance Abatement Board. Normally with these reappointments, you know, the appointee is required to appear before you if their attendance falls below 75% for the preceding term. That's not the case in this instance, but this is a unique reappointment in that the appointee previously qualified for this board based on his residency within Duval County. He is no longer a resident of Duval County. And he wishes to qualify for this appointment based on his substantial economic business interest within Duval County. And as you know from Chapter 50 of the Ordinance Code, you are required, or the bill sponsor is required to appear at a separate and prior meeting to establish and debate the requirements of the substantial business interest of the appointee. So that's what we are doing here today. The bill sponsor is the council president, and in this legislation, he has stated that Mr. Moye is a partner and senior engineer at the civil engineering firm of Waits and Moye, Inc., which is located on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville. And I would defer to council president if he wishes to add anything.
Yes, I've looked through his background, his history, and all the projects that he has done for the city. And not only is his business located here, but he's worked extensively on various projects, analyzing the engineering design of traffic signals and other transportation-related items for the city. So I have no doubt he has a substantial business interest. Unless someone else has something else to offer, I believe this should go through the normal process, but we've discussed it, and I know we have a couple people on the queue who want to add on to that. And so I'll first go to Councilmember Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I fully support Mr. Moy's efforts to be reappointed, and you listed some of the things that he's done, and I'll just give you one anecdotal. When I was a district council member in Ken Knight Drive, we were having some difficulties getting traffic calming measures taking place out there, and this is right after October. We had some shootings. We had a shooting there, and the kids had to hide in the swamp, and Mr. Moy actually came and worked on, I don't want to say volunteer, but worked in the city with that department and really helped us come up with the plan to get the traffic calming, to get the lights out. I mean, he's got great experience through his company and working with the city. I think he'd be a tremendous asset, and I would hope that we'd all support this.
Thank you very much. We'll next go to Council President Carrico.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, the code requires me as the bill sponsor to come here and be ready to debate this reappointment, but I think it speaks for itself. His business is located in my district, right in the heart on Southside Boulevard, just south of Beach Boulevard. It's Waits and Moye. I've been to the office. He's got all these wonderful renderings and pictures on the wall of all these civil service projects that he's done over the years for the city of Jacksonville, different parks and different roadway constructions, all the civil engineering. So it's been a staple of the community, and generally good guy. I know he's done a lot of philanthropic endeavors as well, but very knowledgeable about a lot of the intricate parts of civil engineering and what needs to happen to get these projects done. So I think he should be welcomed to reserve and volunteer his time on this board.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll now go to Councilmember Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to support the reappointment, but I had a question perhaps for General Counsel through the chair. We had a similar situation with the candidate from Alachua County that I think it was a DIA appointment, if my memory serves me correctly, through the chair to OGC. Wasn't the code modified at that time?
Through the chair to Councilmember Romero. So that was slightly different. DIA had a specific provision within their section of the ordinance code that required Duval County residency. And so in order to appoint that person who did not reside within Duval County, you had to waive the DIA section, and then it falls back on the Chapter 50 section, which says either residency or substantial economic, business, or philanthropic interest. And so that's how you got to that, the waiver of the DIA section, fall back on Chapter 50. This PNAB is a Chapter 50 board. It's governed by 50, so it can be either or. There's no code waiver needed for this.
Okay, thank you very much. So I consider we've discussed this appropriately, and we'll be voting on this the next Rules Committee meeting. We'll now go to page 11, item number 13, and that's 2025-0614. Okay. I have a motion and a second on the amendment. Yes, 614. Page 11, item 13. Yeah, I have a motion and second on the amendment. Any discussion? Okay, yeah, I wanted to go to Ms. Carraher to explain the amendment, please.
Yes, through the chair to the committee, the amendment will attach a revised Exhibit 2, which is the CIP project information sheet to correct the prior year funding, and will attach a revised Exhibit 3, which is the listing of the parcels to correct the parcels that are being identified through this bill.
Okay, anyone like to comment? Okay, seeing no one on the queue, all those in favor of the amendment say aye. All those opposed, nay. The amendment passes. I have a motion and second on the bill as amended. Seeing no one on the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0614 as amended. An easy one for Councilmember Johnson. Thank you. We'll now go to page 6. Item number 10 is the first one. It's 2025-0608. I have a motion and a second on the amendment. Seeing no one in the queue, I will go to Ms. Carraher to explain the amendment.
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will clarify the status of Eastside Housing Collaborative LLC. This organization has recently been established, and they have not yet filed for their 501c3 status with the IRS. So we're just going to add some context to the bill and clarify that. We'll clarify the waiver of Code Section 122-423 as it relates to property taxes and liens of this organization and their affiliates. We'll change the timeline for development from 2 years to 3 years with a 2-year extension option, consistent with the language that's currently in Code Section 122-423. That timeline was revised a couple years ago, so we'll just make that change within this bill to reflect the new timeline. We'll attach a revised Exhibit 3, which is the land donation agreement, to reflect that revised timeline for development, and attach a revised Exhibit 4, which is the quitclaim deed, to also reflect the revised timeline for development.
Thank you very much. Seeing no one in the queue, all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. The amendment passes. I have a motion and a second on the bill as amended. We have Councilmember Freeman in the queue, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Watched the debate this morning, fully understand everything that's happening in supportive of it. Just one question, and I didn't see Ms. Trimmer here, but we know that affordable housing, workforce housing, however we discuss it, is something that's of utmost importance to all of us in the city. Was the comfort level, and through the chair to Mr. Peluso, was the comfort level in neighborhoods because Ms. Trimmer represents, she's the chair of that group, or is this something that can be opened up for other organizations that are looking like, I'm only asking because I get a lot of phone calls from groups that want properties from the city, and we have that big list, and it has to go out monthly, and so I just want to kind of get a better understanding, because when they see this go through, they're going to say we're picking and choosing winners and losers, and I want to be able to explain how and why. So I'm sorry to delay the meeting a little longer, but if I may, Mr. Chair, can I ask Mr. Peluso, is that why you had the confidence and the comfort?
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman. So Ms. Trimmer, she's the president for the CLT, for the Community Land Trust, which is a wholly different organization. What these properties were is they were deeded over to Side CDC. We do have Suzanne Pickett in attendance if you want to speak with her as well. But this is just going from the CDC to a new collaborative, which is the CDC and LiftJax. The issue being the CDC had the land, LiftJax had the money. LiftJax couldn't just give the money to the CDC, so they had to create a new entity in order to be able to take both the land and the money and do the work that they've been planning on doing for quite some time. But otherwise, I've spoken with Ability Housing, I've spoken with a number of other groups as well, to the point that you made. There's a lot of other parcels in the city that I know a lot of folks have been looking at, have been asking questions about. So it's important that people kind of jump on the, I think Mr. Jeffries this morning said in summertime, the next list will come out where people can kind of jump on stuff. But these are parcels that were already kind of planned to be developed. Now we have the money to do it.
All right, and that helps, and thank you. And so, through the chair to whoever can answer this question, Ms. Pickett, I did call you back, so I want to make sure when you called, I did call you back. What's the process when this list comes out? Is it the old process of, as an at-large member, I need to go to that district council person, through the chair to whoever may be able to answer this question? Renee, is it the same process? Because I would like it to be equal for all, if we want to do it, and fully supportive of it. And I don't think any district council person would be opposed to this. But when this list goes out through the chair to Ms. Hunter, is it the same process where we selected, you check with the land trust people first, then you go to the district council person, and if they sign off on it, then we can move forward? How is this process different from what I would have to do normally?
Sure. Renee Hunter, Public Works, through the chair to Councilmember Freeman. So these particular set of properties, and I know you and I have discussed, but basically if there's a property that nobody in the city has a need for, or somebody has an interest for, let's start with that. What we do is we check to see who is managing that property according to our records. And we ask them, are you okay with releasing this property? If they say yes, then we go ahead and circulate it to every city agency, boards, commissions, all the council members. Everyone kind of gets a bite at that apple. The Jacksonville Community Land Trust was added to the code to be part of that circulated list. So they also get to review these properties as if they are a city agency. If nobody wants the property, and say we have a particular council member interested, then we can, say this property is available if you want to go ahead and sponsor legislation, get it drafted and filed. You'll have to waive sections of the code. We would normally go to auction it afterwards. But let me step back a little bit. So if nobody in the city wants the property, needs the property, but it qualifies for affordable housing criteria, and this is kind of the pathway that happened with this set of properties. If it qualifies for affordable housing criteria, and then we send it to neighborhoods and housing, and they say, yeah, we want this on the affordable housing list. So we go ahead and compile an affordable housing list. Florida statute requires it every 3 years. We try to do it every year. So you'll see a list next year, early next year, you'll see a list from us. But anyway, so what happened with these properties, they went on the affordable housing list. Housing is managing the housing program, and they decide which properties go to which entities. So in this case, this went to, I think they said like the East Side Housing Community District, something like that. So these went to that entity. They had, under the old code, they had 2 years to get it developed. And if they don't get it developed, under the deed by which we conveyed the property to, the property reverts back to the city. And so in this instance, the property wasn't developed. And instead of the property reverting immediately back to the city, what Councilman Peluso was electing is to have these properties transfer from that entity that got the property donated and transferring it to another entity, so that they now have the code has since been changed to 3 years. So now they have about 3 years to develop the property. So I'm hoping I'm answering your question.
Pretty high level. I missed the part about the estimate. Like when I have to go through the process and I found some properties, then you said that the city sends out an estimator, and they have to estimate the property, and then the people that want to purchase the land, then they can make an offer up to that amount or make the full amount. I'm just a little confused on, because I like this process, and I want to bring a lot of other people that are interested in doing this to the table to do something like this, but it seems like this is different than what I had to go through and it's essentially just backed off of from doing it. Where's the purchase price coming into this conversation?
Sure. So the affordable housing process is just for straight donations, and that's for those properties to be developed for affordable housing.
Hit pause there. So you're saying because I love we talk about nonprofits and churches. So if we have land properties around a lot of these churches in our community and they're nonprofits, am I hearing you say right now that they could go through this same process, and if you said the housing division, if they grant them the permission, then they can take title without any money out of their pocket and take ownership of the land and develop it for their church and for their members for affordable housing? I just want to make sure.
Sure.
Because what I do for one, I want to do for all, and I think this is a way that we could get a lot of property off of our records. And because many of these churches call me and want to do affordable housing projects around their buildings and with their community and their congregation. Am I understanding that to be true? And is there somebody from neighborhoods here that can tell me how on that list? Because if you have the power to say yay and nay, I want to know through the chair, what do you use as your criteria or your rubric to determine this property is good or not? Because Councilman Peluso, I think you're onto something here, and I think that there's a way that we can, because that list is so long, and there's so many people out there that are outside of our government agency willing to utilize their own dollars if we gave them this asset.
So through the chair to Councilman Freeman, we have a surplus property donation process that we use. So once these properties are deemed affordable, that they can be used for affordable housing, meaning that the lots are large enough, there is water and sewer available to the property, they go into the surplus property donation list. Usually every other year, we're required every 3 years, but it's about every other year. We put out that process to, I don't want to say bid, but we open it up for nonprofits to be able to apply for these lots. It's a first come, first serve. So we advertise it. We'll put it out, first come, first serve. Most of the time not most of the time, all the time they have to have prior experience. They have to show that they have financial capacity, that can actually build the home. And those are like the main criteria that we use to be able, before we donate those properties out. But again, first come, first serve. Now, before they make it to that affordable housing list, you have the opportunity to be able to choose that property and donate it to whoever you would like to donate it to, or to an entity that has the ability to develop those properties. Am I right?
I'm sorry, did you say your name on the record?
I'm sorry, Travis Jeffrey, Housing and Community Development.
All right, Mr. Jeffries, I'm putting it on record now. If anybody's watching and you're a nonprofit and you're interested in doing this, call my office. I would love to tackle this issue of seeing if we can help. This has been a 3-year passion project of mine, and this has been the first time that I've ever seen it go through. So I'm somewhat yes, man. I've met with the housing authority and tried to get land, and there was always some type of a roadblock that has come up. And so to hear that there's a pathway forward here, and I mean, I'm going to go pull this archive and I'm going to save this because you can look forward to me coming back. And is there a limit on the size of the organization? Let's say that there were, how big or small? Are there any caps or limits that I need to know of before these groups all start calling me with affordable housing from around the area?
Through the chair. 2 keys. 1, they have development experience.
Yeah.
2, they have financial capacity.
Thank you. We'll now next go to Ms. Caher, please.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, I just wanted to clarify one thing that was said by Ms. Hunter about these 8 subject properties. These properties were conveyed to Historic Eastside CDC through legislation. They did not go through that affordable housing inventory list that was discussed. There was legislation that waived that process to convey those properties.
Thank you very much. Ms. LaPere, please.
Through the chair, Ms. Carher touched on this, but I just wanted to add, in response to what you were saying, Councilmember Freeman, when you don't go through the affordable housing process as it's outlined in code, you do need a waiver of section 122.423. That would be the only caveat, and then there aren't as many restrictions, and you can do these donations directly to organizations.
Thank you. Next to Councilmember Peluso, please.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you to Councilmember Freeman for asking those questions, because this is something that's incredibly important. So back after the 2007-2008 financial crisis, there was so many properties that the city took over. And then it was the end of the Brown administration, into the middle of the Curry administration. They were just trying to get as many properties off the books as possible, because obviously we don't want the government to have all these properties. And so a lot of them went to a lot of these nonprofits, a lot of CDCs, but because they didn't have capacity building, because they didn't have the funding available to them, a lot of these languished, and now some of them were kind of coming back to the city, or now we have to find clawbacks, and sometimes we have to go to the courts just to pull them back. So this process has been, there's a lot of history to it, and there's been a lot of bad, probably some organizations that couldn't handle these properties. So if you've got any that can, just make sure they have that capacity building capacity. It's why LiftJax being a part of this process now makes this far more palatable and easy for us as a body to say, yep, they'll be able to build the properties that they said they could. Because there's a lot of CDCs that thought they could do it, and they just couldn't get the money to do it, and it was wasted time. So that's just something that, it's the reason why I'm so big on this one, but I've been very nervous about other nonprofits that have said, oh, we're looking at land too, because we don't want to waste more time with land just sitting there. That's my only argument against that. If you got nonprofits that are looking, make sure they got the money to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. LaPera, would you remind me where we are on this as far as posture-wise?
Sure. To the chair, item 2025-608, the amendment was moved and approved, and it has been moved as amended. So you can entertain further discussion, or if there's none, you can open the ballot and record your votes.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0608 as amended. Now going to item number 11, 2025-0611. We have a motion second on the amendment. Ms. Carher, would you please explain the amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will correct the fiscal year of the appropriation to 24-25 and correct some Scrivener's errors within the bill.
Thank you. Seeing no one in the queue, all in favor of the amendment, say aye. All those opposed, nay. The amendment passes. I have a motion second on the bill as amended. Anyone in the queue? No. Seeing no one, please open the ballot and record your votes.
8 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0611 as amended. Okay. Thank you, Councilman Peluso. So now we'll go to the front of the agenda to item number 1. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Pardon me. We're going to number 12 now, and then we'll go back to the beginning. So item number 12, 2025-0612. I have a motion and second on the amendment. Ms. Carher, would you please explain the amendment?
Yes, through the chair to the committee, this is just a very technical item. We're going to correct some duplicate text that was added into one of the sections that's being revised and correct some Scrivener's errors within the bill.
Okay, thank you very much. Council President Carrico.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have some additional language I'd like to add in as an amendment. I don't know if I need to do it separate from the Scrivener's errors, or maybe you want me to talk through it first, Ms. LaPera?
Through the chair, so you could do it one of two ways. You can amend the amendment, or, Mr. Chair, if you want to take up kind of this more technical auditor's amendment first, dispose of that, and then entertain a Carrico amendment, you could do that as well. And then either roll them up or not.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a vote on the technical amendment? All those in favor of the amendment, say aye. All those opposed, nay. The amendment passes. Council President Carrico, please.
All right, it's pretty simple. I just want to add some language wherever it makes sense that tickets shall not be used for personal consumption by any elected officials.
Could we have a motion and a second on the amendment? Any discussion? We have Councilmember Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So can you restate that amendment again through the chair to the Council President? If that's okay, Mr. Chair.
Sure thing.
Yes,
Through the
please.
chair to past President Freeman, that ticket shall not be used for personal consumption by any elected officials. The intent would be that tickets still get divided as the bill states by past President Salem, but that the tickets would then come to the office of the City Council through the Council Secretary and be distributed to community members and constituents, but not for personal use for council members.
That's what I thought I understood. Thank you so much. I just wanted to get clarity on that word personal, because I have 6 other personal links to me and 4 daughters, a wife, and a son. And so that still would include me as the person if we're talking about our kids or family. I'm just trying to see, does this extend out? I want to make sure that we don't have any gray area here, because, I mean, my beautiful face was all over the news for quite some time, and I made sure my daughters understood, what was going on. So I'm just trying to make sure I understand, because they're watching, and they're going to say, Dad, they're talking about you. You can't go, but can I still go? And I'm like, I don't like country music, so no. But no, go ahead.
Through the chair, I would defer to Council President Carrico to clarify the intent and definition of personal consumption.
Elected officials should not benefit personally from free tickets.
No, that's fine. My daughters have a savings account, and they are going to be buying their tickets moving forward, so that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, we'll next go to Councilmember Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to piggyback on behalf of my colleague. Again, the language, does that include family members or just the elected official? Just for clarity, that's all.
The language states that it would be personal consumption by elected officials.
Okay. Through the chair, I'm going to support this one way or the other. It doesn't matter to me personally. Part of my concern that we've had a system in place that kind of protected elected officials from actually taking gifts from others, and this may just open the door for that, unfortunately. So that's just my comment.
We'll next go to past Council President White, please.
It's more of a question, and through the chair, no problem with the bill or the amendment at all. But if one of us wanted a constituent to go when we wanted to go, if we paid for the tickets, can we go? I haven't got no problem with paying, but I think we need to fix that. You might not want to invite one of the constituents and you not take them there. Have you thought about that? Is there a way to land a plane on that we could go and take the ticket and just whatever the face value is, pay for it?
Thank you for the question. I have to defer to the council auditor and see if there was a way for a member to actually pay, since the tickets are given to us contractually through the agreements with the stadiums and the management companies. I don't know that there's actually cash value attached that we would actually pay for. Mr. Peterson might be able to answer that.
Through the chair to the committee, that's a great question, because Council President Carrico is correct. There are certain contracts where the city is we just have tickets due to them being city facilities. It's unlike the Jaguars, where the city does buy the tickets. Our agreement with the Jumbo Shrimp just clearly says that the city will receive X tickets. I don't know that there's a value assigned to that. Surely tickets have value, but I would have to look into if a council member wanted to pay the value of the ticket, how that would be determined. I've never seen a ticket. Myself, have never gone to an event, so I'm not sure that tickets have a dollar value on them for a council member to make that contribution. Happy to look into that, but I can't provide that answer on the spot today.
Not to get too in the weeds, but I know we identify a value that we put on our gift disclosure that we have to turn into Tallahassee. That value is usually generated from the Office of Sports and Entertainment. could apply that value, and then where does that contribution go? We'd have to identify a funding source, whether it be something back to the city or the FOP charitable something or other.
I would suggest a Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, on the advice of counsel, I'm going to recuse myself from that conversation. I know you were joking, but I'm not sure if the chair wants to take back control of the conversation.
All right. So we'll go next to Councilmember Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the General Counsel, going forward, it's my understanding that our lease with the Jaguars will has a condition that we will get tickets, period. That's my understanding. And if I'm incorrect, correct me. My question is, should this pass to General Counsel, how will that impact the new lease when it goes into effect and tickets are then delivered for the elected officials' use?
Through the chair to Councilmember Amaro, I have not seen that contract, so I don't know exactly what it says as it pertains to how tickets are, if they're specifically earmarked for specific departments or they're to go to the administration or not, if they're just to the city. It would depend on that distinction and how it would be handled. If they're not specifically intended or designated for the executive or legislative branch, then they're equally distributed, is how that would be handled.
Ms. LaPera, would you restate where we are as far as the amendment? What's in the Council President Carrico amendment? What is still in it? There's been lots of discussion. I just want to make sure.
Sure. Through the chair to the committee, the Carrico amendment would read that tickets shall not be used for personal consumption by any elected officials. Personal consumption would be defined as the elected official.
Okay. Is there any need for further discussion on what was stated on purchase or anything to that extent, or are we prepared to vote on that amendment? Okay. Well, I see no one else in the queue. All in favor of the Council President Carrico amendment, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The amendment passes. Do you want to roll those two up? I guess that's my question, huh? Yes, please do. We have a motion and second on the bill as amended. I see Council Member Freeman in the queue. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Fully supported, and thank you, Council President Carrico, for adding that amendment. I think that adds clarity for our voters. One question that I have now is on the mechanics of this. In years past, tickets would come in through the administration's office, which then deemed them no longer a gift, but as something that we would pass on and not necessarily have to file, even though we did in my office file those as gifts. What happens, or what's the recourse if those come in and we still don't get them from a council perspective? I'm just trying to make sure in the mechanics, this is not something that I'm probably going to engage in moving forward, but I think while we have this in front of us, we need to have kind of an understanding of where they're going to come and who's responsible. Is it the Office of Sports and Entertainment, or is it going to be the administration's office?
Mr. Chair, do you want me to answer? Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
Through the chair to past President Freeman. I mean, the way I read Dr. Salem's bill, it's pretty clear that they'd be divided, and it says that they'll be accepted by the council president or his designee. My designee would be the council secretary. So we'll run everything through the office of our council secretary, and then requests would come through your office, through your aides, to give those out to your constituents and your community members. And then we would, as the bill states, track all that for transparency purposes, report it back to sports and entertainment so we can say who they went to, where they were given out. And I think it's pretty laid out in the legislation. Mr. Chair. No, thank you for that response. I didn't articulate my question clearly enough. In the process, before the ticket ever gets to the council side, it comes into the city.
And in the past, that stop was the first stop would be, i.e., the mayor's office per se. I'm assuming, I don't know that to be true. And then they would come from the administration side, wherever on her chain, to our side. If it does not transfer over so that we can get them to our constituents, what is the recourse? What do we have for a clawback? Because as of right now, this would just be a piece of legislation that is asking, or by law, I guess, if we pass it, saying it should be done. But how do we know if it's going to be done or not?
Past President Salem has some insight, I believe, on this, if you would allow. Thank you.
As I crafted this legislation through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, I believe the tickets come into sports and entertainment, not directly to the mayor's office. So the legislation is written where the council secretary works with the sports and entertainment director, gets accountability for the tickets every month so that he or she knows, the council secretary knows what is supposed to be coming over to him or her for distribution by the council members to their constituents. It's spelled out pretty clearly in the legislation.
Perfect. That makes complete sense to me. And I will look forward to seeing how you all deal with this moving forward. I know how I'm dealing with it moving forward, but be curious for anyone that gets tickets to see how they deal with it moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0612 as amended. And Council President Carrico, I apologize. I didn't know you were here for that bill. I would have moved you up front. Thank you. So now we'll go to the beginning of the agenda. This should go pretty quickly. We've gotten the main pieces out of the way, I believe. There's just one that might get some discussion, but let's go through item number 1, 2024-0627 is being deferred at the request of Councilmember Diamond. Item number 2, 2024-0966 is being deferred at the request of Council President Carrico. Item number 3, 2025-0472 is being deferred at the request of Councilmember Gaffney Jr. And in item number 4, 2025-0522, we have a motion and a second on the bill. Oh, and go to Councilmember Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will be abstaining from 2025-0522 as my employer, Miller Electric, may be doing the work for the completion of this project. And so out of abundance of caution, I will be abstaining, and I will make sure that I have the necessary forms filed with legislative services. Thank you.
And next to Council, Past President Salem, please.
Mr. Reichert, can you come up front if you're the appropriate person for this? Just have a couple questions. Don't want to pick on you. We have 18 electric vehicles, as I understand it. Presently, how are these vehicles being charged as we stand today?
Richard Reichert, Administrative Services. I'm sorry, I'm still bruised from the beating I took this morning, so forgive me. Through the chair to Councilmember Dr. Salem, currently we're doing it through a third party. Just as this, we would give out a fuel card to one of our employees to go to Gate Petroleum or Wawa or Dailies or whatever. That was our plan initially, was to, as we build on this program, was to do that first so we wouldn't do anything to interrupt the mission. And then we're working on the infrastructure. While we're doing that, we're working on the infrastructure. That'll be part 2 of this.
Through the chair, so you intend to be adding electric vehicles, it sounds like.
Well, we would like to, and these are dollars that come in through planning. They can only be used by planning. So these are low-risk vehicles, not emergency rescue vehicles. They drive 70, 80 miles a day. So this is a good place to start this process. Yes, we would like to continue that. And once we get the infrastructure in, that cost of ownership goes down because they charge there. They don't charge on a third party. So that's the plan going forward.
It just seems like a lot of money, but it's coming out of the building inspection fund, which I understand is flush with cash.
There's no general fund impact. No, sir.
I understand. That was my concern initially. I'll trust your judgment.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
We'll next go to past President White, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, through the chair. Wouldn't it make common sense that when they're going to the third party, they're not out doing their business or getting charged, where they'll be getting charged while they're in the office doing their city business, so it'll save time and they'll stay on their job a little bit better that way?
Yeah, so we're going to put chargers at different locations. There'll be some in the Ed Ball building. There'll be some at 44th Street, different parts of town. And I hate to say this, but maybe down the road somewhere with the software provided, we can find a way to do some of this at an individual's house. If we can do it, some other cities are doing it, which would really reduce the amount of time it takes to complete work throughout the day, since they start their job from the house.
Thank you. I just have one question to Mr. Record. Have you guys determined where, like if you're going in a parking garage, where those will be placed? And the reason I'm asking is, and I know technology has improved quite a bit, but I've seen quite a few reports of charger fires. And so I think you would be very sensitive to this of all folks. Where you place a charger in a parking garage is very important if you think there could be the risk or the potential. And so I just want to make sure I bring that up and say where possible, like maybe it's rooftop or whatever, wherever. I just want to make sure we're placing them in the right places. Thank you.
To the chair, yes, sir. We've thought about that. You're right. That hits close to home to me. We'll be putting them on the roof of the parking garage at the Ed Ball, so it will be on the top floor. We did think about that, but if you do look at the data, honestly, there's not as many fires as you think with the straight EV. A lot of those are with the hybrids. If you look at the data and look at the numbers, so yes, but we did think about that.
Thank you very much. We next go to Councilmember Amaro, please. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick comment. To me, it's clear that this is the future, and so I'm going to support this legislation as we move forward. It is my anticipation that somewhere in the next 5 to 10 years that the city fleet will probably be expanded to have more EV vehicles. It just seems like it's a cost-effective way to go. It reduces the issue of mechanical failures and the cost of gasoline prices and those things associated with that. What I would like to see as part of the thought-out process, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the consideration, is a way to safeguard so you can minimize EV theft, if you will, or where someone else can pulling up his Tesla and having it charged for free on the taxpayer's dime. So I would imagine that there's some safeguards in place, and if you haven't thought about that, that you would think about that.
Through the chair to Councilmember Amaro, yes, you're correct. And there's software that protects against the charging piece of that, yes.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Six yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0522. Going to item number 5, 2025-0539 is deferred at the request of Councilman Peluso. Item number 6, 2025-0557. We have a motion and a second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0557. We've already taken up item number 7. We'll go to item number 8, 2025-0600 is deferred. And item number 9, 2025-0601, I see a lot of individuals here that were here at neighborhoods, but I'm going to defer this bill for 2 weeks to coincide with neighborhoods. If anyone feels very strongly on something they really need to put in the light, please let me know. Otherwise, I think this gives us an opportunity for more people that may have been involved in the budget process, especially others, to really get more better informed on the process. We do have Councilmember Freeman on the queue. This is 2025-0601.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I watched neighborhoods this morning, and there was a bill, the housing bill that Councilmember Peluso had, that Councilmember Salem had questions about, and was asking great questions. And then as information came out, it changed it gave him better information to make a decision from, and he was able to move forward. I know that, and I missed the end of neighborhoods today on this conversation, but I wanted to ask through the chair to Councilmember Salem, have you had a chance to meet with them? And if so, what I hate seeing is something like this, that I know how the conversation is going to end. It's going to end with us taking care of the core functions of government, keeping our people safe, the roads fixed, and trash picked up. Putting out 2 more weeks to align with neighborhoods, if there's a chance that you're in a better place now and this body is able to do something, neighborhoods could catch up with us, and the president could discharge it from neighborhoods, because I believe you're the one that had the questions in neighborhoods. So that was my question through the chair, if I may, to Councilmember Salem. If your questions have been answered, then by all means, we ride it out for 2 more weeks. But if they have been, I think when it comes to the contract and garbage, based off of the testimony that I heard both of you and Councilmember Borland share this morning, from COVID coming out of it, the impact of garbage and people stopping us, the sooner we can get this resolved, the better we can serve our constituents.
Yes, please, Councilmember Salem.
I did have a previously scheduled meeting for 1 o'clock. I gave the team 3 questions. I'm not prepared to vote today. But I do want to make the point that I think it was much more than me that had concerns over that contract. I may have led the discussion, but I know Councilmember Gay, who was here, Councilmember Miller had concerns. So I know a comment was made that I was the bad apple in the bin. I think it was beyond that. So I think there was considerable discussion, and I think waiting 2 weeks for a contract such as this, as long as it is and as expensive as it is a wise decision.
Mr. Chair, and thank you for that. And I think that is one reason why I wanted to either have a discussion today, because in watching neighborhoods this morning, I did hear Mr. Miller make a reference. I might have missed you. I had to go to a meeting. But the more chances I get to hear something, the better it is for me in consuming information and landing in a decision. So when we push it out 2 weeks, they're going to have the same questions then. But I mean, are you all planning, through the chair to Councilmember Gay, through the chair to the chair, are you all planning on meeting with solid waste as well, so that they have your questions?
Can I where I left my meeting with them, they plan to circle around to the whole council, I think. That was Waste Pro representatives as well as people from Public Works.
Yes, and they made that offer as well, and we're okay with the deferral. So it's my opportunity here to reinforce what was just said. Yes, I was fine with everything else that was listed, except, I still struggle. I'm willing to listen, but I still struggle with a full 10 years of a contract when our idea for the original legislation was to do away with the rate review process to hopefully set the condition to engender more competition. And then we come behind that and say, let's go 10 years on this contract, and there is no chance for competition until 10 years are up. So there's my struggle. The rest of it, very well crafted, very well organized and coordinated. So I applaud all the folks that were involved in this process. But I still am at that place where I struggle with not allowing competition by passing this as it is. If that 6-year extension, which takes it to 10 years, weren't there, or there was a possibility in the discussion this morning about maybe reducing that extension, and maybe that's a happy medium where more people could be more comfortable. So yes, it is more than just Councilmember Salem and Councilmember Gay from neighborhoods that were having some concerns here.
No, thank you, Mr. Chair, and that's edifying to my soul to hear it, because I love hearing what the concerns are, and it helps me better land on my conclusion. Through the chair to Councilmember Gay, do you mind sharing what your concerns were as well? Mr. Chair, may he?
Yo, please. Yeah, Councilmember Gay, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, through the chair to Councilman Freeman. The concerns I had was, hear about that there's only one bidder that bids on this, and it's kind of out of reach for a lot of, I guess, certain bidders. But my perspective is, in dealing with procurement and what we've worked to achieve to make it more accessible for bids to be bid on in the city, is bringing it down to where there's smaller projects that some local businesses can get involved and participate in, that it's not such a big 80,000 pickups they got to do, that we can get it down to some 20,000 or 30,000 and have some multiple vendors that we can potentially bring the cost down and have competition on it. So and yes, I plan on having these meetings with them on this, and so it's kind of looking at all kind of alternatives, options, to where we're not just locked into one company that dictates to us on what we've got to pay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Councilmember Salem and Gay, for sharing that. I mean, I know you've been around since the Solid Waste Committee, been a part of it. I think Councilmember Boylan might have been part of that fund, so there's never a doubt of your line of questioning. I just wanted to better understand it. So, Chair, thank you so much for indulging.
Thank you, and I will say, I want to make sure this is clear on the record. All indications are, everything I've heard, everything I've seen, is that Waste Pro is doing a great job. So I want to make sure no one misunderstands. This is not about whether Waste Pro is doing a great job or not. It has nothing to do with that. In fact, we're thankful because we've had an experience with another waste management company that was very difficult, to say the least, and very, very traumatic for a lot of our citizens. So they're just the opposite of that. So this is not about how well they've been providing services. That's happening well. So I'm going to stick by that unless somebody else wants to talk further. We'll have further discussions. I thank Mr. Williams and others have reached out to me already since neighborhoods, and I look forward to those discussions. And I think most of us do want to make sure we find a place where we can be comfortable where we land, and as was stated earlier, that the trash is getting picked up in a timely, professional way, and that the taxpayers get their best money's worth for what it is that they're paying to the companies that are entrusted with that important service. So thank you very much. We're going to, again, defer this for 2 weeks to coincide with neighborhoods. We'll have plenty of time now that budget season is at a better place, and then we'll come back and revisit this in 2 weeks. So we move on to number 10's already been addressed, actually. Item 11 has been addressed. Item 12 has been addressed. Item 13 has been addressed. 14, 15 as well. 16, 17 as well. And then we find ourselves with the seconds, and they are item number 18, 2025-0638. And we do have one for action here. That's item number 19, 2025-0639. I have a motion on 2025-0639. Do I have a second? 14. Resolution celebrating the San Marco Community Centennial Year. Do I have a second? Okay, I have a motion and second. So you know on the queue, open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approve 2025-0639. Item 20, 2025-0645 is on second reading. Item 21, 2025-0646 is also on second reading. Item 22, 2025-0651 is on second reading, as well as item 23, 2025-0656, second reading. Item 24, 2025-0657 is on second reading. Item 25, 2025-0658 is on second reading. Also, item 26, 2025-0663 is on second reading. And item 27, 2025-0664 is on second reading. Item 28, 2025-0665. Looking for a motion. We have a motion and second on the resolution. We have Councilmember Boylan in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to be added as a co-sponsor.
Okay, seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you have approved 2025-0665. Item number 29, 2025-0666. I have a motion. Do I have a second? And a second. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you have approved 2025-0666. Item number 30, 2025-0667. I have a motion and a second. Seeing no one up, yes, I have Councilmember Boylan in the queue, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to be added as co-sponsor. Darrell Rubin Hall is an amazing individual and has done some great work.
Okay, seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0667. Item 31, 2025-0668. I have a motion and a second. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0668. Item 32, 2025-0669 is on second reading. Item 33, 2025-0670 is on second reading, and we already discussed it. And then the last item is item 34, 2025-0671 is on second reading. I have one more comment before we close out. At our next meeting, Ms. Leah Hayes from Human Resources will be presenting on the process to vet and narrow down candidates for senior nominations or appointee positions. We invited Leah to this meeting, but she requested to defer to the following meeting on 9/15. I just wanted to comment a little bit on that. I'll say more at the next meeting. I've noticed some concerns in the overall process for how the process works. Not only for these, but I've also been made aware of some concerns with promotion process and system with JFRD, and there are some other things that just came my way, and so I decided, you know what, let's make sure this committee understands how that process works when someone is recommending, nominating someone for key positions within our city. So that's what we'll be hearing next week, and we'll have more time to discuss that and other related issues. Is there anything else anyone would like to bring up? If not, we are officially adjourned. Thank you very much.